Yo, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode. So today you are curious as to whether you should sell your house with a real estate agent or without. In today's video, I'm going to go over pros and cons of doing one versus the other and let you come down to the conclusion that works best for you. But of course, before everything goes down, you know I have to shoot the $4 million shot. Here we go. Bang. I've already done that before. The first thing that comes to mind when I make it is I say bang, bang, bang. All right. We made the shot. Keep going. Okay, so continuing on with the rest of the video, should you sell your house with a realtor or without? Now, really, this is a multifaceted kind of question. There is no yes or no answer. It really just depends on your circumstances and what it is you're actually looking to do. Now, two questions you have to ask yourself before even asking that question. One, how soon do you want to move? Two, what is the current state of the market? We are currently still in a seller's market. The reason we're in a seller's market is because there is less inventory on the market versus the amount of buyers that have entered the market to go ahead and try to purchase their homes. First and foremost, the time frame in which you want to move is incredibly important because you have to take into consideration you are doing everything yourself. You are going to be responsible for the staging. You are going to be responsible for taking the photos. You're going to be responsible for scheduling, all of the showings, all of that falls on you. But before I go into any further detail, I want to list the pros of selling by yourself. One, you get to save tens of as well as hundreds of thousands of dollars in commission. So of course, the purchase price of your home determines the amount of money the real estate agent gets paid because the real estate agent collects a percentage of what the house sells for. Now, it sounds like a great idea because you get to keep all of that money in your pocket when you sell the home. But if it sounds too good to be true, it typically is. So in this instance, it sounds amazing that you get to keep all of the money to yourself with the exception of all of the regular expenses it takes to sell your home. But you also have to take into consideration the fallbacks. So what exactly are these fallbacks? A few of the fallbacks are you have to be responsible for all of the online marketing. You have to be responsible for the professional photography. Videography is something that is very important that we see in homes nowadays that are on the market. Typically, homes will have their own website as well. If you are in a community that is a luxury community, then websites for a house is a really great idea, specifically because that is going to drive direct traffic and direct leads who are interested in that house. Basically, anyone on that website is solely interested in the house, whether that's another real estate agent for their buyer or a potential buyer who was driven to that website. Now, another thing to consider is pricing. Now, it's very easy for anybody to basically go on the internet and see what's sold recently to kind of gauge exactly what their home is worth. But the issue with that is there are things and details about a certain property that your house may have or may not have in regards to characteristics. For example, if a house near your home sold for $1.8 million, but they actually have all of the latest gadgets and gizmos that come with a house, a new modern house that is not portrayed in all of the photos, then you're not really going to understand what was going on in that property in the first place. Also, something that you'll see is if a house was on the market and it sold recently, real estate agents sometimes take those pictures off of the MLS, which means those pictures come off of the sites like Zillow, Redfin, and Trulia. So yes, you're online and you're seeing, hey, a house right down the road from me just sold for $1.8 million, but there's actually no photos for you to base your pricing on versus a realtor is able to get those photos and understand, okay, when this property last sold, these are the things that helped it sell for the price that it sold for. Another thing to take into consideration is the paperwork. Now, when you're working with a real estate agent, the agent essentially is pushing all of the paperwork for you. They're preparing all of the documents. They're making sure all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. If you represent yourself and do it, you have to read all of those documents and understand what's going on based on your own understanding. Now, that's not necessarily a terrible thing, but sometimes the contracts can be very, very vague in their language, and they can be hard to understand unless you're a professional that reads these contracts on a regular basis. Something else to consider when thinking about selling your house without a real estate agent is real estate agents have for sale signs. Real estate agents have open house signs. Open house signs drive tons of traffic to your home while you are away or while everything is being set up on your behalf when you work with a real estate agent. These open house signs literally tell people where to go. All right, so we're midway through the video. I wanted to take the time to say thank you for taking your time on watching this video so far. If you like what I have to say so far, I've said so far so many times so far. Smash the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I basically post on a weekly basis to ensure that you are well aware of what the real estate market is looking like and things of that nature. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that whenever I do put up a video, you are the first to know and you can get your daily dose, your weekly dose of my YouTube videos. And with that, let's get back to the video. And based on my experience, what I've noticed is the times I've had an open house and I didn't have signs, it was pretty dead. Now, of course, this was at the beginning when I didn't have signs, so that makes sense why that would be my issue. But now as a more seasoned real estate agent, I understand the importance of having open house signs. And the last thing I wanted to throw on the list is you don't really understand the intricacies of somebody else's loan. Now, typically a real estate agent is going to come in and you're going to have to pay somebody, predominantly or primarily the real estate agent that's representing the buyer. You're typically going to pay them whatever their fee is. And on average, on par, it's probably somewhere between 2 and 2.5% as a buyer's agent. But the downside of that is they are there to represent their buyer. They are wanting to make sure that their buyer gets the best deal possible. Sometimes that means coming in with a lowball price. And if you are only in communication with the buyer's agent, and if they have a silver tongue, they're going to convince you that, hey, you're actually sitting on the market overpriced. You've been on the market for 2 weeks. This house should have sold in 10 days, not 2 to 3 weeks. When in actuality, if you had a real estate agent representing you, you would understand that the average days on market for a house in your neighborhood is 20 to 22 days. And piggybacking off of my previous point in regards to the intricacies of somebody else's loan, if you're a VA buyer, then you are double protected by your contingencies because you're a VA buyer. If you are a homeowner selling by yourself, you don't know all of the intricacies that go into a VA home loan when somebody's buying. There are things that you can get away with a conventional loan, 20% down, that you can't get away with when it comes to 0% down VA home loan. These are things that you have to take into consideration when you are deciding that you want to sell your house by yourself. And that wraps up this week's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to consume the content. Thanks for watching me brick all of these bricks that I've been bricking when I shoot my $4 million shot. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so when I post a video, you're in the loop as soon as it's posted. And also remember, hit the like button. That helps the YouTube algorithms in getting my videos promoted. All right, in the meantime, that's all I have for you guys today. I really appreciate it. See you guys next week. All right, love y'all. Oh, I guess. Sign out game trash.